it is recording. I was like, is it moving? Is it doing its thing? I don't know. We'll find out. Cool. So the first question is, what issues were you experiencing prior to the experiment?
Well, when we first started, it came up, it was knee pain. So I'd just done a gym session and dancing, and I was limping along. So I remember actually where I was in Mayfair in London, going to an event. And I was texting, I was messaging you on Facebook while I was like hobbling along. That's when it actually began. And you started, and by message actually, you just asked me, would I like to do an experiment? I was like, yeah, let's go for it, and that's when I first came to it.
Cool. What, if any, objections or resistance did you have to joining the group experiment?
For me, I didn't have any as such, because of the fact that from that very first message, and I experimented with feeling different, and within 5 minutes, I was from limping, I was walking solidly, and pain disappeared. So for me, that was I didn't need, it was easy.
It was like a no-brainer. Yes, more, please.
It was, it was like, well, what the hell took you so long to get it together?
So cool. What has been your biggest breakthrough?
Well, I've had knee pain for 10 years. I had 2 operations on my left knee. That's my other knee needed operation, but I chose not to have it. And since then, I've had knee pain whenever I walk. So the hugest thing for me is that within a few weeks of doing that experiment and just playing with it, it's gone. Gone. I don't ever get knee pain. If I do certain things, yeah, I do. I don't have that constant thing anymore. It's just vanished. And I can do more of my body than I ever thought possible. It's just, and how quickly. And now, if anything comes up, I just play with it. And it's amazing how fast it changes. And I get it. It's just, I can't really put into words what that's like. It's just fucking awesome.
I like that. That's the tagline, the experiment. It's just fucking awesome. And I find, especially because I haven't explored this with anyone else, especially with the body, it can be really life altering when you recognize that you can, like you said, it still comes back, or something else happens. You jabbed your finger right during the thing, or something else happens. And you're just, it's kind of like it's calling you to be more creative and have more fun, but you no longer have the panic that arrives when pain happens. That's my experience with it. It's like, oh.
It's like an opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. How long did it take you, I think you answered this already, before you trusted the process of the experiment?
Yeah, well, I played with it for a few days. I think I committed to playing with it for a week, I believe.
Right.
We agreed. And so I did. I did that for a week. Whenever it came up, I played with the experiment. And so very quickly, within a week, it was very clear that it was effective. I began to trust it then and just go with it. And I wanted to see how far I could take it.
Cool. Because we're talking specifically about one area, and the experiment can be applied to pretty much anything, are there other areas where you didn't trust it so much right away?
Oh, totally, yeah. The money manifestation thing, sort of the external world stuff, I guess, more so, definitely, yeah. Which is still something I'm playing with, if I'm honest. It's still something that I find it harder. I suppose also it's less immediate. Physical stuff, right? It's very obvious. Yeah. It's either there or it isn't, right? It's either healing or it doesn't look like it's healing. But something like drawing in money and bringing that into my world, it's a different thing. So that's still probably my biggest challenge with that is the fully trusting of that, definitely. And that's something I'm continuing to play with. Create that feeling of joy around everything, which I'm enjoying the experiment. This is really my age with the experiment, and I'm loving the journey with it. Yeah.
Good. I just wanted to touch that because there's such a part of anybody coming into something like this thinks like some people, they want an instant fix, right? It's well, if I don't go in there and I don't get results right away, then it's I failed again, or nothing works for me, or this is crap. But for me, it's really important people understand this is a process. And the level of, the more often you do it, the more you play with it, the more you recognize that we're not after anything in particular.
Yeah.
That it's
that was one of the things that you shared in the very beginning. It was, you can't actually do it if you want it to be something. It doesn't work. It's annoying, right?
Right.
Because you want it, you do want this thing, but actually, if you want it, you ain't going to get it. If you want it with attachment, you're not going to. You can't have
Right. If you have an idea in your head, I'm doing this for this particular outcome.
Yes.
It can't work, and no experiment does. Like, it's even if you go into a lab.
It's not an experiment.
Exactly.
Then it's just looking for proof that you're something you already know, right?
Exactly. And I would say with the experiment, we're not looking for any kind of proof. And this is sometimes where the mind's like, wait a second. It has like this tinkering, and this is why I think when it comes to something, and for other people, you notice that like the body stuff was hard, and and the money stuff was easy.
Yeah.
So it's depending on where we're coming from. Or the relationship stuff was really simple, but applying it to something like their toe was just not, not fathomable.
Their frame of reference. Yeah.
Or like people that I worked with separately who had like chronic pain. There's a little bit more of like an unweaving that had to happen before they began to play with it. But I think it's really important that people understand it's not about like, I need to fix this right now. And somehow in a paradoxical way, it sort of does.
It does, yeah.
Tell me about the community aspect of the experience.
Yeah, that's an important part. Yeah, definitely. Because like you say, everyone's got their own challenges, right? There's things they find easier and harder within it. Without knowing that, actually, it would make it really tough to be able to then grow in those other areas, to actually be able to experiment in all areas. Mm-hmm. And that's a fantastic thing. And also, the people you had in the group were amazing too. They really were opening their hearts more and more, sharing what was really going on for them. So no rubbish, It was just like, this is what's really happening. This is where I'm hitting the wall. This ain't working here, And then you'd come on and you'd be there, supporting us as well, which is really. But I love the way you did that. Actually, that was important. You were like there, It was like whatever came up, we're going to short period you back, and you'd be like supporting and challenging, and like in a very nurturing kind of way, Again, the way you do it is the way. There's no attachment, there's no judgment. It's just like, this is it. Try this and experiment with that. That's really awesome. But the community is very important. It's very that dynamic of people sharing and growing together. And then because the other thing is, out in the world, people are like going to think it's nuts. You try to explain this to someone. I mean, I've been in the world of personal development coaching for years, right? That's hard enough to explain, but at least you can kind of attach it to stuff, like sports. Yeah, coaching, I know what that is, right? This is like magical, weird shit. It's like, there's no way that you can actually talk about this with other people, so you need people who actually get it. It's really important. Yeah.
And you actually had a little bit of time doing it alone first.
Yeah.
So you have a different perspective. So you had it alone, and then you were in the group. And would you say that the group made it exponentially?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because on my own, it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I got the impact myself, but it was very much me and then reaching out to you individually and getting your support in that way. But having the other perspectives of other people doing it too, because all it is like we need a world built around. If we want to create a new reality, right? We need to actually look around and see that reality. And so if there's only one voice, it doesn't actually generalise out so fast. But actually, when there's all these different voices and they're all getting these amazing stuff happening, it's like, wow. And it just feeds back and just accelerates it exponentially.
I keep hearing this theme. It's like, for me, the group, and for me, what the experiment is anyway, is about infinite possibility. And so there's these moments where you kind of like doubt, or you're not quite getting it. Not that there's anything to get. And all of a sudden somebody brings a story and it's like, boom, or it like just zaps you in your sails. You're like, okay, the possibility, you don't have to believe it here, but all of a sudden the possibility is open to you.
Yeah.
And that's right.
That's kind of the whole point, isn't
exactly.
it? About the possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also something else, because when someone's sharing a challenge and then you're like guiding them or challenging them after, getting them deeper on it, that is so much, that was important for me to learn that as well. That was really good. Because when it's not directed at you, it's easier to actually learn sometimes, because you can see it in a different way, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes I learn more from that than I did from the direct question in some ways.
Right. By watching other people and me interact. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then there was the awesome bit as well, where you encouraged us to also share our experience with each other. Mm-hmm. And if we share and to just give our perspective on other people's challenges, now that was really cool, because that requires, again, a different level of attention, a different way of experiencing it. And that's very, very cool. Yeah. That's something, that's when the magic, expands even further. Yeah.
Cool, yay! What would you say to somebody who's really curious about the experiment, and they're kind of like hedging at the like, well, I've done this a lot and I've spent money before, and not just that, but like the level of attention the level of investment, the level of being present to the experience. What would you say to them?
Yeah, it's fascinating because if you're looking at it to buy a process, it's not worth spending thousands of pounds on process. When you can go get it for a lot cheaper a process. But this isn't what it is. This is for actually your attention, the time you spend, the guidance, the group as well, and just it's about them never needing a process ever again. So this is like for the rest of your life. This is going to be yours to own and to play with and to share or do whatever the hell you want, right? So it's like, well, this isn't like you're going to, these tools you're going to learn. This is like the magic on the other side of the looking glass. Once you've been through it, there's no going back. There's no, you may go back, but you're never the same again. I mean, for me, I like the Matrix metaphor, right? I love the Matrix metaphor. It really is. You've taken the pill and you're through the other side, and you can't get back in the system if you wanted to. And why the hell do you want? Because you get depressed with bullshit. When you're outside but inside.
Awesome. So cool. Anything else? I think I'm done with the questions, but if you have anything else you want to say.
Yeah, I'd say this is probably going back way before the experiment existed even in your mind, actually, just because of the way of being that you had, which was still the experiment looking back at it, but I just didn't have that language for it. Mm-hmm. This was last year when my grandma was dying, and I think I'd shared something on Facebook, and you reached out to me, and we jumped on a Skype, and we started to just talk about that, and about presence, about connection, and about just not being attached to wanting her to feel or change or change her in any way, but just be there and just love her and say what you need and just to be there in that presence, which looking back now, it's exactly what the experiment is. It was not being attached to whatever, to her definitely getting better, which didn't happen anyway, and it was not attached to her needing to even be free of pain. It was truly just being present to her, and that is a gift, actually, which meant I was more present to her than I was with anyone, right up until the last moment, as much as I could be. So, that's the power of the stuff. That's what's more important than that. And so the applications for this stuff, it's just life, isn't it? It's the energy of life itself. There's not really anything better.
And I don't think like for me, when you just said that this is the stuff to me that really matters. Like playing with the money, that's fun.
Yeah.
But what you just talked about, this being able to be present with anyone, no matter what emotional state or physical state they're in, is what really, really matters.
And also, being able to do that with her, and when she died, it was a very different experience to when my father died a few years ago, very different because of that presence that I'd had with her. And then that led to me opening my heart to not closing and trying to protect myself after.
Yeah.
It was actually opening. I mean, you've used this great phrase that you always say, your heart breaks wide open. You said that once, and I just think, that's really stayed with me. And it actually has enabled me to open my heart to romantic love as well, which I've never done before. And even the possibility of having a kid is open to me this year, which has never even been in my realm of possibility before. So that's all connected to this experiment. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
I just had no idea these interviews. I mean, I knew they were going to be awesome, but the level of awesome that this has gone to, because you guys have been so willing to be seen and to talk to me about this, the gratitude that I am there just are no words. So I'm going to stop recording. Thank you.
You're welcome.